Success. This bevel gear here is the very top gear that goes right there. And the top of the spindle slides right in there. And there's a keyway in there. I just finished giving this thing a rough cleaning, scraped off a bunch of old hardened paraffin-based oil full of dirt with a little scraper and a pick and a wire brush. I'm going to pull this set screw out. There's a key in there. And then this thing's going in the parts washer. Then I'm going to hose it down with brake clean, and into the evapor rust it goes. Okay, I got to cut this wire. Get it loose from the fish tape here. Get the fish tape out of the way, the wire out of the way. Now I'm going to gingerly see if I can fit these leaf chain plates, line them up with the hole. That's going to be a bit of a trick. I think I can do it. Sorry, my hand's in the way. That's not going to do it. I got to get a little hammer. Okay, let's see if I can line these up. There. When I get this thing stood up, then I will peen both ends of this pin a little bit so it can't pull out one side or the other and cause a problem. Okay, here's a better view of the leaf chain attached to the rack with that pin. So, like I said in the last clip, I'll peen those pin ends over a little bit once I stand this thing up, and that'll captivate that chain in there really good. All right, it's time to install the anchor that holds the column to the base. Put that spacer in there, line it up over the hole, put that in there. It's somewhat lined up. All right, that's got that. Things are getting serious now. It's time to lift that thing up and get it set on the base and anchored down, and then we'll start putting this thing back together. That was a job. It would have been nice if I had a helper lowering that thing on there and getting everything lined up and bolts inserted, and oh man. But hey, I'm just a one-man band here, so that's just the way it goes. But the hardest stuff is now done. It's just a matter of getting the rest of the sub-assemblies on here. You can see down there where I got those base bolts in. Those are temporary. I'm going to swap those out for grade 8s. And I had to do a lot of thread chasing with a tap and then a die on the bolts. A lot of rounded threads, so I'm going to go with new. And just to make sure that that's all solid. And I had to use a wrench on these clamp handles here to tighten that down enough. I didn't have enough muscle myself to tighten those down to clamp this security to the column, but just putting a little extra tension on there with a wrench, and it worked great. So yeah, this thing is looking good. Okay, now it's time for me to unhook the cherry picker and put some stuff away. Man, that looks good. Well, this is what's left to do, and about a third of this is already done. But I've got these smaller parts that still need to be cleaned up, derusted, and so on and so forth. And, of course, I got to get all new bolts. That pulley's done. I did a video series on that Jacob Super Chuck. That's done. The upper shaft is done. The lower, the other gear that goes with that one is in the parts washer right now. These smaller parts here need to clean up. The table's done. I still got to tear into that electric motor, but I'm going to do that after all of this other stuff is done and back on the drill press. And the thing I keep forgetting about, I can't ignore it, I'm going to pull this apart and get it in the witch's brew and get it all cleaned up. So it'll be ready. This mounts down here on those two bolts. And yeah, this is starting to come together a little quicker now, and boy, am I glad. Well, there you have it. Last couple of videos in this series, gotten a lot of big stuff done. And now we're finally getting down to the smaller items. I'm glad. There's probably a couple more things I could have added to this video, but I'm tired. My arms are shaking from muscling that big old column onto the base. And yeah, I'm not 25 anymore. So anyway, yeah, here we are. So I'm gonna sign off right here and say thanks for watching. I don't know what's going on with the YouTube algorithms lately. I was up to almost 870 subscribers. Now I'm back down to 865. I don't know if people just decided to bail out. They didn't like the channel like they thought they would, or it's the YouTube algorithms playing around. I know Ed Goslin at Goslin Farms battled that for a long time, and so who knows? I mean, I'm not going to worry about it. If you're new, welcome, and if you've been with me a long time, thanks for sticking around. That's my standard way I roll. So okay. Let's see, what's next? Oh yeah, I got a tool reveal coming up. And I'll kind of break up the monotony of this long drawn out drill press project, but I picked up some items I'm going to share with you guys. I've kind of been inspired by Adam over at Small Town Machine Shop. Excuse me. He does one of these tool review or reveal videos about once a week because he's like me. He likes going to all the estate sales and garage sales, and when he sees tools, he grabs them. Well, I don't always grab them. Trying to watch what I bring home, but every week he does, I think it's usually on Sundays, he does his tool reveal, what he's picked up at the sales, you know, good quality used tools. So I'm going to give that a shot, an idea I got from Adam, and we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm going to say thanks for watching. And we'll see you real soon on the next one. Bye, everybody.